So hello everybody and welcome back to EEP 16. It took me a while to get this video out for two or three reasons. The first is that I had to discard a lot of things that I did over the last 2 weeks because I didn't like it. It's debatable if what I did now is much better, but that is hard for you to compare because you don't see what I threw away. I also didn't have as much time the week before last, but this is about a good time to give you an update on where things stand here with the cargo ropeway layout. And the first thing I did is I filled in the empty spaces beside this rocky rubble field here. It used to be just meadows right and left of it. And I filled it in. I put a few little trees in there. I changed the textures. I hope it looks now consistent. I put the grass here into the foreground. I added a little bus stop, the telephone booth, some other small pieces of equipment. And here, I call it the administration building of the whole operation, where they do the facade new. And the boss just arrived and is being shown the work by the foreman and so on and so forth. So you get the story. Another most important thing that I did is I changed the track style. I used to have a track with a built-in gravel bed. It didn't look particularly great. So I downloaded these ones, which are 3D tracks by KK1, the designer, who does most of the 600mm stuff. He has amazing things. Not only in the shop, these tracks actually are free. They are a free download on his personal website. And the only thing that I had to adjust after exchanging them was I had to increase the height of the dam underneath, because there used to be the built-in gravel bed. Let me just show you how the original looked, just for comparison. And so let me see if I find the S12 ones are all the KK1, and this is the only one that I used to have that came with the model, with the software. And they have this gravel bed. It is not, terrible. I could live with it before, but I think this looks so much nicer, and I'm very happy I made this change. And thanks to the viewer who pointed this out. You know who you are. I know that you don't want to be mentioned by name in my video, so I don't say your name. But it is a person who helped me previously a lot. Let's move up to the top station, the mountain station, where I did a little bit something as well. This used to be a gray gravel mountain. I changed it to the same kind of sand that we have here. I'm not sure if it is realistic that we have the gray and the gray stone and the yellow sand here, but why not? And I filled out the empty land here, and that was actually what I struggled with most. And I did now kind of some swampy area with a few overgrown water holes. It's not really lakes, it's more like very shallow water. It's almost too much water, but if you hide it even further, then you don't see anything, I guess. And I put some bushes in as well, and 2 types of grass. So I hope that looks not too unconvincing. And this is actually, I think it is okay. So I put more vegetation also here in this area, but I didn't make a swamp. I just put the standard bush groups. And there are some hikers and some kids live dangerous. The next thing that I did is I worked on these lakes, and I just placed bushes around them, and also added grass. I'm still not happy with how that worked out. I was thinking about the high reed grass, but so I magnified the existing grass patches that I had to about 2 to 3 times. And at least from a distance, I'm not sure. And especially this and this, I should at least use now that I see it. That is yet a different, that is the 5 and that is the 4 grass. So I should probably exchange this also for the 4 grass. It looks kind of odd that they have different color tones. And actually, where are they? Here. I use them so often that I have them in a special folder. So this is 10 times 7. And I want 3 10 times 7. The funny thing is, I did a German installation, and here it's called Grassommer, so that is German. And even though I did that, half of the grasses are still in English. So don't ask me why that is. Actually, I want 4 10 times 7 if I have that. And I may not. 5. I have a suspicion that's why I used the 5, but that is not an excuse for making a wrong color choice here. So let me put it up here. Scale it a little bit. What is actually the scale before I start? It's 1, that is good. So we scale it a little bit up. Take this one out. Move this one in. This is not on, so I can lower that a little bit into the water. Something like that. And I use the different colors here on purpose. The green and the yellow to make it not too monotone and monochromatic, and that makes kind of sense. So that's fine. Then I worked also the same here. Some areas have grass, some other are just rocky, stony beaches. And I spent a little bit extra effort here where this landing pier is, near this horse farm, where people, apparently it's a weekend, so they are sitting out here. And we have a floating woman, floating in the air, I mean. So I hope that's okay. I put here some lamps, and that is their private recreational spot. Some people are still at work despite being Saturday, of course. The boss himself just watches on as all his women folk are doing all the work. That was just a selection I was considering, but then discarded, so discarded. And that is about it. This is not the same surface than this. I experimented with them both. This is much more moving, and it's kind of a movement that is not really consistent with the size of the lake. So for a much larger body of water, that would kind of make sense. But for this rather small lake, I don't think we would have so strong lakes, so strong movement without seeing some waves on the water itself. So chances are I will replace this surface with that surface, and this is called, okay, see if I can just replace it. What do I have to do to replace it? I don't know. I can of course just delete it and put this in, but there is always a replace option usually. And that sums it up almost. I did nothing really at the train station itself, except for changing the track, which we already talked about, and then changing the gravel bed. And as far as I'm concerned, this layout is basically coming close to completion, at least to the level that I want to see it right now. As you know, that is part of a larger layout where this is just one of the modules that I then want to connect to each other. And I did also more work on the following module, but that hasn't really progressed enough to spend any significant amount of time now on it. So I make this very short and keep it that way. And when I have made a little bit more progress on the next one, which I call the unloading module, because that is where all the materials that are being loaded here are being unloaded, then we'll talk about that, and I'll show you how that looked. I actually extended this first module by another about 100 meters, just that the bridges that when you connect them are not right here behind this idyllic countryside, and then suddenly we have this industrial harbor so nearby. So 100 meters isn't much anyways, but it helps to keep that a little bit away from this. And I haven't really done anything here because I want to first see how that connects, and then I'll decide what to do with this meadows right and left of the road at the edge of the layout. Well, that gives you an idea what I was doing or not doing during the last week. And well, actually, now that I remember it, I did a lot of more grass here, there, and in other places. Like, for example, I added grass and weeds here, and that is not fully complete. There should be a little bit more here as well. Why would it stop there, right? And but it's getting there. There is maybe an hour more work and putting some more kind of little touches here and there. But in large, I don't want to spend too much time perfectionating this to the last level, to the 100% level, while everything else is completely unfinished. I mean the follow-up modules. And I want to first get at least one more, perhaps even two more modules in reasonable shape, like this one. And then I can start actually a larger scale operation where I can drive the trains, and they're not just going here 200 meters or 300 meters and then disappear. Thanks for watching today. If you have any input, things I have overlooked, what I did wrong, what I could do easier, better, different, please let me know, leave me a comment. Otherwise, I hope I see you at the next video, and I wish you a wonderful evening for now. Bye-bye.